Was God involved in the establishment of the modern state of Israel? It's a profound question and one that I can't claim to answer in the next 2 minutes for you, but I want to offer a little bit of historical perspective. So from the late 1890s, we have a movement of modern, mostly secular Zionists who get together and they decide it's time for the Jewish people to reestablish our homeland, which they do. Arguably, there's a group of people who get together, they have conferences, they win wars, they build roads, and in 1948 through 1956, 1967, 1973, those people continue to be involved in the establishment and making of the modern state of Israel. However, early in Israel's history, you have Rav Kook come along, who establishes the phrase Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu, claiming something entirely different about Israel's founding. He claims that those Zionists, those humanists, those secularists who are coming out of Eastern Europe, who are coming out of Russia, are actually tools in God's toolkit of history to establish the modern state of Israel, saying Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu, that this is the flowering of the redemptive age, which will ultimately end with the Messiah coming maybe sometime around year 6000 in Jewish history. So these questions are great questions and well beyond the scope of what we can do today, but they have practical ramifications. So you have secular Israel looking at these questions or the phrase as almost absurd, right? I may not even believe in God. And even if I do believe in God, the God of history, really the God of winning wars, and when I look at Israel's history, it's not so complicated. Yeah, it's not so easy to see God in that history. Maybe 1967 for sure, but what about the Lebanon War? So you have that whole perspective. You also have ultra-religious people who reject this kind of perspective and say, well, where are the prophets, right? Where is the actual hand of God that I can see with my own eyes, and the leaders who are rising to bring us in to the Messianic era? So this brings me to Hillel, this kind of question. In Hillel, we have students who daven with fervor the words Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu, that they have a religious view in which they can appreciate God's role in history. And of course, we have the other people as well who say, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm a humanist, I'm a secularist, I'm an agnostic. I don't really think that God is involved in history. But the beauty of our community is that those two people can sit down together at the same table. Those two people can sit down together at the same Shabbat table. Those two people can sit down and actually talk about this very issue. And not only can they tolerate one another, but they can actually pluralistically, in a pluralism 2.0 sort of way, learn from one another. And that's powerful. And when I think about what I count on for Hillel, as a rabbi, as somebody in the community, I count on being able to come to Hillel to do something that the rest of the Jewish community is having a really, really hard time doing, and that's having a conversation about the things that divide us, about the things that most fundamentally divide us in terms of our hashkafa, in terms of the way that we view the world. Our students somehow are capable of sitting down, doing it together, learning from one another. Maybe their perspectives change, more often than not, right? It's very difficult to change somebody else's mind, but at least to begin to learn to appreciate and have a deeper understanding of where other people are coming from. So if there's one thing that I would like our community to learn from our Hillel students, and our Hillel students to bring with them into the Jewish community as they go out into the world, it's exactly that. Take a moment to ask more questions, to learn to appreciate the answers instead of trying to prove that you're right, and see what you can learn. And I offer that to you as a kavanah for today, for Yom HaAtzmaut, and I wish you a Chag Sameach, and whether you view this as divine redemption or whether you view this as one of the amazing miracles or not miracles of human progress, still we can celebrate together. Thank you so much.